Up to 80% of property investors in Dubai will regret their purchase in 2026. Not because the market crashes, not because prices fall, but because they bought something they didn't fully understand. Dubai really feels safe to European investors. English contracts, polished sales team, everything looks transparent. And that's exactly where the illusion begins. The illusion that ownership here works exactly like it does in Europe. In Dubai, the apartment you see and the rights you buy are two different things. The full list of what you absolutely need to understand before buying I explain in this video. Freehold. It means full ownership of the unit and a registered share of the land. You can sell, rent, mortgage and pass the property to heirs without time limits. This is the strongest form of ownership available to foreign investors. But this is where the first mistake happens. Many investors never verify freehold registration officially. They trust brochures, sales decks or verbal assurances. Months or years later, when they try to resell or refinance, problems appear. The correct way to verify freehold status is through official Dubai Land Department registration or the REST application. Every legally registered freehold project appears there with a clear ownership classification. If it's not registered property, banks may refuse financing and release becomes slower and much more riskier. Another common freehold trap is service charges. Investors buy at an attractive price but later discover very high annual fees set by the management company. This directly destroys rental yield and resale value. Smart investors always check historical service charges and management quality before buying. By the way, if you invest in Dubai and you want to understand local laws, ownership structures, and real risk before signing anything, follow us on Instagram. We regularly break down real cases where investors lose flexibility, liquidity, and sometimes millions simply because they didn't know how ownership works here. Leasehold means you are buying the right to use the property for a fixed period, usually between 30 and 99 years. You do not own the land itself. Here is the real scenario. An investor buys a premium apartment, rents it successfully, and later decides to sell. Buyers hesitate, banks hesitate even more. Why? Because the remaining lease period is shorter and the asset becomes less liquid over time. Another issue appears with inheritance. Some leasehold structures complicate transfer to heirs, especially for foreign investors. This is rarely explained during sales, but becomes a serious problem later. User-fraud and long-term usage rights allow you to use the benefit from the property for a defined period, but without full ownership. On paper, these contracts often look solid. In everyday life, they can feel similar to ownership, but legally, they are not the same. Problems usually appear when investors want to renovate, restructure, or sell. Some agreements limit modifications or require approvals from landowners or master developers. Financing can also be restricted, as not all banks treat these assets as strong collateral. Investors don't lose money immediately, they lose flexibility, and flexibility is everything in real estate. This is one of the most underestimated risks in Dubai. Master developers have legal authority to set community rules. These rules can limit short-term rentals, restrict commercial use, or complicate renovation approvals. Many investors buy expecting Airbnb income or mixed-use strategies only to discover later that these options are restricted. Nothing illegal happened. The rules were always there. They were just never checked. So experienced investors in Dubai follow a simple but strict checklist before signing any contract. This is a practical process, not theory. First, verify the ownership type officially. Ignore marketing materials and ask for the project registration number. Check it directly through the Dubai Land Department or REST application. The ownership type must be clearly stated as freehold, leasehold, or another legal structure. If it's not visible in official records, do not proceed. Second, check bank financing in advance. Ask which UAE banks currently finance this project and confirm it yourself. If major local banks provide mortgages without restrictions, the ownership structure is usually solid. Limited or unavailable financing is a warning sign that needs explanation. Third, request community and usage rules in writing. Review official documents that define rental policies, short-term rental permissions, renovation rules, and usage limitations. Pay really close attention to Airbnb restrictions, subleasing clauses, and approval requirements. Fourth, confirm real estate charges. Ask for current service charge per square foot and compare it with similar buildings by the same developer. High service charges reduce rental income and resale value, regardless of purchase price. Fifth, read the sale and purchase agreement selectively. Focus on ownership definition, resale conditions, usage rights, penalties, and developer control clauses. If any restriction affects resale, inheritance, renovation, or financing, it must be clearly understood before signing. Finally, define your exit strategy upfront. Clarify resale process, transfer fees, approval requirements, and potential limitations tied to the ownership structure. A good investment allows a simple exit. A complex exit usually means hidden constraints. If you are planning to relocate or invest strategically, visit our website and leave a request. Our advisors will contact you and help you choose a property that matches your goals, budget, and long-term plan with full transparency on ownership and legal structure. Dubai is not a gamble, it's a system, and those who understand the system win long-term.